This video is going to introduce you to how to do ceramics or pottery, or basically use clay in the classroom. So the first thing that you need to make sure is that you are sitting at a table that has canvas. All right, this is the surface. This is what we need to always be sitting at. You should never be doing pottery on newspaper or on the black table without canvas. So once you're at the table with the canvas, you're going to want to get one of these bags. And this bag is your tool bag, and it's to be shared. There are a lot of different tools in here. So you've got, and they're used for different things. I'm going to go over just a couple of ones in this video. You've got your rolling pin. This is called a bamboo stick. There's a popsicle stick. There's really a lot of household items can be used for ceramic tools. There's a golf tee, a nail. Okay, these are some of the ones that we're going to use today. Okay, so for your first thing, we're just going to get a feel for the clay. So clay is a really good medium. Medium means like a material. A really good medium for capturing texture. Texture is the way something feels. So I'm actually just going to now pull it down so you can see my hands here. So texture is the way something feels. Like this canvas is rough, but if you feel like the side of the nail, it's very smooth. So clay can capture texture really easily. So I'm going to show you just even by pressing this clay onto the canvas, you see how you already see the texture of what it is. And when you're looking at it, even if you're not touching it, it's called implied texture, the way something feels. So what we're going to do first to just get a feel for the clay and to learn our materials is I'm going to give you just a little bit of clay, and you're going to roll it into a ball. To roll it into a ball, you simply put it between your hands and roll it. Sometimes you might tap it a bit onto the canvas, but you're just going to roll it in your hands, and you're going to just lightly kind of tap it to make a circle. Sometimes when you are making a circle, a little crack will appear on the side if your clay is a bit dry. Just kind of smooth it out and tap it. Now, for everything that you make in this class, you're going to need to do a thickness test. You really don't want your clay to get any thicker or any thinner than the top of your finger. So right now, if I put a little thing on top of my finger, I can see my finger it's about the same thickness of my finger. Okay? This has to do with if you put it in the kiln and it's too thick, then it might blow up. If you put it in the kiln and it's too thin, then it'll probably fall apart. So we'll talk about the kiln and everything later. All right, the kiln is where you fire it. But once you have your clay and you have a ball and you've kind of beat it out a little bit, we're going to figure out which ones of what these different tools, what kind of texture it will create. So what this is going to end up being is like a refrigerator magnet. So you're going to make a little design here. And after we fire it, after it becomes hard and we glaze it, we're going to put a little magnet on the back, and we're going to make it into a refrigerator magnet that you can either like give to someone, or we might sell some of them at the VAPA showcase. We'll just see. Okay, so my first tool is a nail. All right, anything that's sharp, you need to be very careful at this at your table. I do want to tell you this one thing. If you throw clay or throw anything while you're doing clay, you're done for the day. I'm taking away your clay. You go probably leave the classroom and write a reflection somewhere else, but you're done. So please be respectful if you want to use the clay. So anyway, as we were saying, a nail can be like a lot of different things. So I'm going to maybe just give my magnet here, what's going to end up being a magnet, just sort of a center. So that's one texture I can use, one design I can create just with the nail. I can create a circle. I can also put it on its side, and I'm moving my fingers this way while I'm pressing the nail in this way, all right, to just create, I don't know, kind of like a flower design in there, all right. I can even use the very point, and I can create a different kind of design, okay. So that's 3 different textures that I have created just with the nail. Okay, You can take a popsicle stick and use the side of it to create a whole different texture. Okay, you are just going to experiment with this and create a couple of different ones that could have that you're just going to use your tools to create designs to make interesting textures on the clay. One thing that you also might want to look at, so here I'm just kind of doing another one, okay, is there's also like a little thing that I have of nature supplies, like this acorn. This acorn can actually end up making a really cool design. All right, so I pressed it in there and I'm just gently pulling it out, okay, and you can see like there's this kind of cool design in the center. We're just going, and you can add to that, you are just going to make a bunch of different designs so that you can understand what all the tools do. Try to use like all the tools in your tool thing, in your tool bag, just to see what kind of designs you can make. Now, when you are done with your magnet, you have to put your name on the back. If you want any chance of getting this back, you have to put your name. All right, so I would put my Peyton. You simply take the nail or a bamboo stick or a pencil and write into it just like it were, just as if it were paper. All right, Peyton P. First name and last initial. Okay, first name and last initial. When you have that done, I'll show you where the container is. You're going to come and you're going to place it in a container that's done. Okay, then you're ready to clean up. So for cleanup, there might be like little pieces of clay that you didn't use, just little pieces that are stuck here. To clean those up, you take a bigger piece and you tap it, and that will pick up all the little pieces of clay, okay? All the little pieces of clay that you have on your canvas. Any clay that is dried out, I'll have a bucket where you put dry clay, and any clay that is still good, you can give it back to me and we can wrap it up, okay? Then, when it's also cleanup time, all of the supplies need to be back in your bag, and there's a list here to show you what all should go in each bag. So you should have everything that's on this list should be back in the bag. So once you have all the tools back in the bag, you've written your name on your magnets, and you've given them to me, first name, last initial, and you've given them to me, and you've gotten rid of any little pieces of clay, that means that you can be signed off to be done with cleanup, and you'll be ready to do the next clay project.